When the first gunshot from the gang shooting rang out, Dr. Maria Gonzalez was examining 3-year-old Pablo's throat infection at the neighborhood clinic. When the crossfire began, everyone hit the floor, but Maria did something different. She threw the clinic doors wide open. "Dr. Gonzalez, it's too dangerous." "Let's lock the doors," shouted Nurse Linda in panic. But Maria was already running into the street, and in the next 6 hours, the neighborhood would learn who Dr. Maria Gonzalez really was, because those gunshot sounds and the smell of blood weren't foreign to her. When the gang crossfire stopped, Maria had brought 6 wounded civilians into the clinic. But something was different, very different. Maria's movements had changed. The way she spoke had changed, as if she had become a completely different person. Welcome to Hidden Legends. Before we continue with this powerful story, tell us in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be told, hit that subscribe and like button, please. Dr. Maria Gonzalez was a 36-year-old family physician working at Esperanza Community Clinic in East Los Angeles. She had been serving this neighborhood for 5 years, and everyone loved her. She would sing Spanish lullabies while treating children, approach the elderly with patience, and form real connections with families. "Doctora Maria is our angel," the neighborhood residents would say. "Always here, always ready to help." But Maria's being always ready came from very different places than a normal neighborhood doctor's experience. Her routine at the clinic was always the same. She would arrive at 7:30 in the morning, leave at 7 in the evening, and see 40 to 50 patients a day. From common colds to heart disease, from pregnancy follow-ups to elderly care, she did everything. But Maria's medical knowledge came from much deeper places. Nurse Linda found Maria's approach to medical emergencies different. "Maria, how do you handle trauma cases so well?" she would ask. "Experience," Maria would say quietly. "Sometimes difficult situations arise." This experience came from an 8-year Doctors Without Borders career. From Syria to Afghanistan, from conflict zones to refugee camps, Maria had provided medical service in the world's most dangerous places. Dr. Maria Gonzalez's real story began 12 years ago. After graduating from UCLA Medical School, she had completed an internal medicine residency. But her goal was different: humanitarian medical work. "Why do you want to work in dangerous places instead of a comfortable career?" her supervisor, Dr. Williams, had asked. "Because I want to be where I'm needed most," Maria had said. "Medicine isn't just done in comfortable places." When she applied to Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, she received international emergency medicine training, conflict zone medical care, mass casualty management, resource-limited surgery, the most advanced training. Her first assignment was at a refugee camp in northern Syria. Civil war casualties, malnutrition, infectious diseases. During the 18-month deployment, she had treated 2,000-plus patients and assisted with 400-plus emergency surgeries. Her second deployment was in Afghanistan. Taliban attacks, IED explosions, civilian casualties. During this deployment, Maria learned advanced trauma surgery, shrapnel wounds, blast injuries, gunshot trauma, military-level medical care. Her third assignment was in South Sudan. Ethnic conflict, humanitarian crisis, mass casualty events under limited resources. Maria's most difficult medical experiences occurred during this period. Maria's Doctors Without Borders training wasn't just regular medicine. War surgery, emergency trauma care, resource management under extreme conditions, specialized skills. "A doctor working in conflict zones must be different," said Field Supervisor Dr. Hassan. "Limited resources, maximum pressure, life-death decisions every minute." Maria embraced this philosophy. MacGyver medicine, maximum results with minimal equipment, fourth access under shrapnel fire, surgery during power outages, triage during mortar attacks. The hardest training was mass casualty triage, suicide bombings, marketplace attacks, school bombings. Maria learned to treat 30 to 40 wounded civilians simultaneously. One day in Afghanistan, after a Taliban rocket attack, 60-plus civilian casualties arrived at the field hospital. Maria performed continuous surgery for 14 hours, saving 45 people. That day, her medical skills reached peak level. After 8 years of field work, PTSD symptoms began: nightmares, anxiety attacks, hypervigilance. Maria decided to transition to civilian medical practice. "Why are you leaving conflict zones?" the MSF coordinator had asked. "Because I want to serve in peace now, in vulnerable communities, but without war." When she started at Esperanza Clinic in East LA, Maria was overqualified. International emergency medicine experience, trauma surgery background, conflict zone management skills. But the hiring committee hadn't asked detailed questions. "I wanted to work in community medicine," Maria had said, "to serve underserved populations." The daily routine seemed simple compared to Syria: pediatric checkups, chronic disease management, family medicine. But Maria was using much more medical knowledge. She handled every emergency case with a conflict zone perspective: workplace accidents, domestic violence injuries, drug overdoses. She continuously used her MSF triage experience. Saturday afternoon, August 15th, Maria was on her normal shift. There were 8 patients at the clinic: Pablo's throat infection, Mrs. Rodriguez's diabetes check, teenage pregnancy consultation. At 2:30 p.m., the first gunshots were heard, distant but clear. Automatic weapons, multiple shooters. Maria immediately switched to military training alertness. "Linda, what's happening outside?" asked Pablo's mother Carmen in panic. "Gang activity," said Linda nervously. "Probably a drive-by shooting. It'll pass soon." But Maria was doing sound analysis: multiple AK-47s, sustained fire, coordinated attack pattern. This wasn't a simple drive-by. It was full gang war. Chaos had begun outside: territorial dispute between Santos gang and Los Hermanos over drug corner. 20-plus armed gang members, automatic weapons, full combat in civilian area. Everyone in the clinic was in panic mode. Patients had hit the floor, moved away from windows, terrified expressions, normal reaction to fear situation. "Everyone stay down," Linda commanded. "Away from windows." But Maria was doing something different. She was analyzing crossfire sounds, calculating wounded civilian potential, planning medical response. Sustained gunfire lasted 15 minutes. Then, sudden silence. Gang members had retreated, but the aftermath remained. After the silence, screaming began. Civilian casualties, people calling for help, panic voices. "Someone shot! Call 911! Help us!" Maria carefully looked out the window. She could see 6 injured people on the street: gunshot wounds, shrapnel injuries, bleeding civilians. "Linda, did you call 911? "Yes, but ambulance is 20 minutes away. Police are securing the area first." 20 minutes was too long. Maria was analyzing the wounded civilians: critical bleeding, possible internal injuries, shock symptoms. Some wouldn't survive 20 minutes. Decision moment: stay safe in the clinic or go outside to the dangerous area to help civilians. "Linda, prep the treatment rooms, all of them." "Maria, what are you doing?" "Opening doors, bringing the wounded inside." "It's too dangerous. Gang members could come back." Maria paused. Risk assessment: gang return possibility versus civilian death probability. Military training kicked in. "Linda, prep V-fluids, trauma kit, surgical instruments, now." Maria unlocked the door, stepped outside. After 8 years, back in an active conflict zone again. Hands steady, mind clear, mission focused. Triage began on the street. Military field medicine automatic responses. Casualty 1. 45-year-old man, gunshot wound to leg, conscious, moderate bleeding. Casualty 2, 30-year-old woman, shrapnel in arm, scared but stable. Casualty 3, teenage boy, gunshot to abdomen, critical condition. Casualty 4, elderly man, heart attack from stress, unconscious. Casualty 5, young mother, gunshot to shoulder, heavy bleeding. Casualty 6, 8-year-old girl, shrapnel wounds, crying, traumatized. Maria took a systematic approach. Critical first, stabilize, transport. MSF protocols exactly the same. "Sir, can you walk? Into the clinic now." Ma'am, pressure on the wound. Follow me. This boy is critical. Carry him on stretcher. Linda was in shock. Maria had organized 6 wounded civilians and brought them to the clinic. Treatment rooms, hallway, reception area, patients everywhere. Maria, we're not equipped for this. This is trauma center level. We adapt, triage principles. Critical case first. Teenage boy with abdominal gunshot. Maria established fourth access, bleeding control, shock prevention, field surgery techniques from Afghanistan. Linda, prep surgical instruments. I need to explore this wound. Maria, you can't do surgery here. No sterile environment. I've done surgery in Afghan caves. This is luxury. Maria's hands moved with perfect precision. Wound exploration, bleeding source identification, damage assessment, not basic family medicine, advanced trauma surgery. Over the next 4 hours, Maria performed medical miracles. Abdominal surgery, bullet fragment removal, intestinal repair, internal bleeding control, cardiac emergency, heart attack stabilization, medication protocols, vital monitoring, gunshot wounds, surgical debridement, reconstruction, infection prevention, trauma care, pediatric wound management, psychological support, family counseling. Linda watched in amazement. This medical expertise wasn't from a normal doctor, but from a specialized trauma surgeon. Maria, your surgical technique, where did you learn this? Maria paused. Time to reveal an 8-year secret. Doctors Without Borders, 8 years. Syria, Afghanistan, South Sudan. Linda couldn't believe it. You were a humanitarian doctor in war zones? Combat medic, trauma surgeon, emergency medicine specialist? Why didn't you ever mention this? Because it wasn't necessary. Until today. Linda realized Maria's level of expertise. This woman had saved thousands of lives in conflict zones. The gang shooting was just another day at the office for her. Ambulances finally arrived. Paramedics expected chaos, instead found an organized treatment facility. Ma'am, medical status report? Maria gave a professional briefing. 6 casualties, all stabilized. 1 abdominal surgery completed, cardiac patient stable, gunshot wounds treated, pediatric trauma managed, transfer ready. The lead paramedic was amazed. This organization is incredible. Your medical background, international emergency medicine, conflict zone experience. The hospital emergency department was shocked by the quality of Maria's field care. Nurse, who provided initial treatment, the surgical work is exceptional. Dr. Gonzalez, community clinic doctor. Community clinic? This is trauma center level surgery. Maria followed up on patients at the hospital. All 6 casualties survived. Perfect medical outcomes thanks to immediate professional intervention. Dr. Patterson, trauma chief. Doctor. Gonzalez, your emergency response was extraordinary. Where did you train? Médecins Sans Frontières, conflict zone medicine. MSF, you're a humanitarian doctor. Why are you working at a community clinic? Service continues, just in a different form. News spread quickly in the neighborhood. The community learned about Dr. Maria's hidden background. Our clinic doctor saved 6 lives during gang shooting. International humanitarian doctor serving East LA, war zone surgeon hiding in neighborhood clinic. A community gathering was organized. Families whose lives Maria saved, neighborhood residents, local leaders. Dr. Maria, we never knew your background. Why never mentioned it? Because service is service. War zone or clinic, the mission is the same. Help people. Carmen, Pablo's mother, you risked your life for strangers. No strangers here. This is my community. Maria's former MSF colleagues learned the news. The international humanitarian medical community recognized her heroic response. The MSF country director called, Maria, we heard about the shooting incident, typical MSF response under civilian conditions. Training never leaves. Would you consider returning to field work? We need experienced trauma surgeons. Maria was thoughtful. My service continues here. The community needs me. Understood. But know the field is always open for people like you. Maria reflected on her career change in the evenings. Did I make the right choice leaving field work? 8 years, MSF, versus 5 years community clinic. Different forms of service, same mission. In Syria, she had treated thousands of patients. In East LA, she was treating thousands of patients. In war zones, life-death decisions. In the clinic, life-quality decisions. Service never ends, Maria realized. It just transforms. PTSD symptoms improved with community work. Peaceful service had a healing effect from MSF trauma. Maria's story isn't about heroism. It's about the application of professional expertise in different contexts, the continuous evolution of the service spirit. From conflict zone medicine to community health care, from emergency response to preventive care, always serving. MSF taught me emergency medicine. The community taught me preventive care. Both are essential. When gang shooting survivors see Maria, they say, real doctors never stop healing. They just find new ways to heal. Maria's courage that day was the civilian application of conflict zones, international medical experience applied in community emergency. I'm no longer a conflict zone doctor, but the healing spirit never ends. Service continues, location changes. The community will understand in the future. Service takes many forms. So I ask you, have you ever met humanitarian workers quietly serving in your community? Hidden international backgrounds quietly contributing to local health care? Share in the comments. Because at Hidden Legends, we believe the greatest healers often serve in the most unexpected places. If this story moved you, share it, subscribe, and help these important humanitarian stories continue. We'll see you in the next legend. And remember, next time you see a community clinic doctor, local healthcare worker, or neighborhood medic, they might have international medical experience you never knew about. Real healers change the forms of service, but the healing spirit never ends.